we're going to talk about your English Home Language Paper 2 that you will be writing on the 31st of May, right? So I have a question paper that I'm going to show you, so I'll just flip to the question paper quickly. This is what the paper will look like. It will say Senior Certificate Examination or the National Senior Certificate Examinations, English Home Language Paper 2, and you can see I'm using 2021's paper as a sample, right? Let's move on to the instructions, which are very important. So the instructions are the same, will be the very same for your question paper. You are told to read the questions clearly and carefully. And number 2, it says do not attempt to read the entire question paper. Now that is important because you have choice questions in this question paper, and that is explained to you in section 3 or number 3 of this instruction sheet here, right? So it says there clearly that you have a section A, which will test you on the poetry. Section B will be the novel question, and section C will deal with a drama question. You must answer in number 4. It says 5 questions. This is important. And of the 5 questions, 3 must come from section A, 1 must come from section B, and 1 must come from section C. Right? So you must have 5 responses in the exam that you must just make sure that this is the case. And there must be 3 from section A, there must be 1 from section B, and there must be 1 from section C. Okay? And then you'll see you get a lot of detail here, but it's good to know this before you go into the exam room. Section A is the poetry. Now you have the prescribed poetry, those poems, 12 poems that you were supposed to study. So you must have an in-depth knowledge of those 12 poems. And for the prescribed poetry, you must answer 2 questions, right? And then part of section A will also be an unseen poem. In other words, you would not have seen this poem at all, and you will be tested on your ability to analyze the stylistic techniques that are used when poets write their poems, right? So it'll be an unseen poem, and this is very important. It's a compulsory question. Can you see where the 3 questions come from in section A? Your 2 prescribed poems and your 1 unseen poem. Then when you get to section B, which is the novel, you must only answer 1 question, right? And you, in section C, you must also only answer 1 question. Now, this is important because number 5 will explain to you exactly what you're supposed to do. And this is what you need to focus on. But if I must just summarize it for you, section B, the novel, it says answer questions only on the novel and the drama you have studied. So do not attempt questions on the novel and the drama that you haven't studied. That is very important because sometimes students start answering questions on the novel or drama that they haven't studied, right? You must answer, this is a critical point, and I want to highlight this. Answer 1 essay question and 1 contextual question, right? So if you answer the essay question in section B, you must answer the contextual question in section C. And they even go to explain again in the next point, if you answer the contextual question in section B, you must answer the essay question in section C. So in summary, essentially, this means that if you have the 2 sections, right? So you have section A, section B, sorry, and section C, right? In section B, you'll get a contextual question, and you will be given an essay question, right? And the same in section C, you'll get a contextual, and you will get an essay question. The instruction says, if you, and I'm just going to use a different color here, I hope I'm not confusing you here, but let's say in section B, you decide I'm going to tackle the contextual question, the comprehension type questions in section B, right? So I'm going to do that one. So automatically, once you have made that choice, you must choose the essay question in section C. Can you see that? You cannot have two contextual questions answered in this paper for section B and C. Neither can you have a two essay type questions answered for section B and C. You must make a choice. If you choose the contextual for section B, then automatically you must choose the essay question for section C. Hope that clears it up for you.